This is a Crack House Chronicles production.
Welcome to the Crack House Chronicles, your favorite true crime podcast. I am Donnie, and with me is a man that's running out of non-Powerball related retirement options. It's Dale.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you. If I ever win the lottery, I'm going to share it with everybody on here.
You're just going to tell them about it?
Yeah, not the money. I'm just going to let you know.
Yeah. There will be signs that he won. Yeah. I told somebody the other day, I said, yeah, if I win the lottery, I'm going to start buying name brand soup.
I know, that's funny as hell. Oh, Lord.
What's going on today, dude?
You know, same old, man.
Yeah, same old. Back in the Crack House doing an episode. We got a really good episode today. You got any good shout-outs or anything you want to talk about?
Well, just so happens we have a brand new Apple Podcast 5-star review coming in today, and this comes from Cody Meadows.
Cody Meadows?
Yes. Best true crime podcast.
Well, let's stop right there.
Yeah, stop right there.
Yeah, drop the mic.
It would cost too much. We had to get more donations.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found you guys a couple months ago and have been listening daily, trying to catch up. Man, slow down, homie.
Yeah. Take it easy, man.
We only got like 280 episodes. Anyway, I love the way you guys cover the cases and the friendship y'all share. I would love to hear an episode of you guys just telling a little bit about yourselves and how you got to doing true crime podcast. I'm in Burke County, and it's cool to hear the cases close to home. I'm down your neck of the woods a good bit also. Well, I was just down there this past weekend at Anderson Motor Speedway. Well, if you was at Anderson Motor Speedway, you just blew past us about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's on down the road. He went past us and just kept on going.
Yeah, our neck's a lot closer to your neck, I think, in Burke County.
Yeah.
But anyway, appreciate Cody Meadows jumping on here and being a fan, and I think, have we ever done a show where we just talked about us?
I think we did maybe on, I don't know.
We've dropped something here and there. You'll find some. Some little tidbits, piece of candy here and there.
Yeah. Drop some Easter egg somewhere.
Something somewhere.
Yeah. But if anybody else wants to be like Cody Meadows.
Cody Meadows.
Yeah, you can go to Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star rate and review. You have to write something in the box, and we'll give you a big old shout out.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Because we appreciate you.
And also, the weather's going to turn a little bit cooler. You can go to the store page, get you something cool to wear.
It's about fair time, Donnie.
Yeah. Fair weather.
That's right.
Yeah. Get you a hoodie, get you a cap, get you a long sleeve t-shirt.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Just get you a regular t-shirt.
Get it all. Just get one of each.
Yeah. Helps support the Crack House, and it helps keep the lights running.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Chucky ain't going to feed himself over here.
No, we got a mascot here here at the studio.
Yeah.
Chucky from Child's Play.
Yeah, with a Burger King hat on.
He has a Burger King hat, yeah. All right, Dale, after this short break, get going on this episode.
Let's do it.
All right, Dale, we are back. And on last week's episode, we covered Brandee Canipe.
Yes.
Girl right here from North Carolina, originally from our county, Cleveland County.
Yes.
This went missing. And we went into her case pretty hard and heavy. We've been doing some research on it. And this week on this episode, we are so pleased to have Kyle Shuping. He is with the Davie County Sheriffs Office, and he's so graciously agreed to come on our show and give us a little bit more insight on what he can on Brandee's case. We know it's an ongoing investigation, and I'm sure there's some things that he's going to, he can't talk about.
Deflect.
And, yeah. And if he can't answer it, that's fine.
Oh, we get that.
Yeah,
100%.
But we're going to ask some questions, so we've got a ton of questions. So we want to welcome Kyle Shuping to the show. Welcome to the show, Kyle.
Yeah, welcome on, man.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate it. Glad to have you.
Yeah, thanks for your time, for sure.
Before we get into the story and talking about Brandee a little bit, tell us a little bit about you and your background and what you do.
Sure. Started with Davie County Sheriffs Office in 2006. At the time the case was reported, I was a detective sergeant. Followed through with this case for quite a number of years. I was on the team that was out there when we did the search warrant out on 158 that night when we illuminated the house and everything. Helped actually write the search warrant that we did that night. Have been a part of the case for a very long time. It was one of the ones that I kept and worked myself as long as I was with the sheriff's office. I was there full time until 2018, and then I went to Coolamy Police Department for a while, and Sheriff's Office was nice enough to keep me involved, and I actually kept working the case and went and did some of the searching and went with and located the house or searched for the house out on Blues Creek. I actually talked to the divers and things like that. So the Sheriff's Office had always kept me involved while I was with Coolamy. That department actually closed down at the end of 2022 for some budgetary reasons. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm back just part-time with the Sheriff's Office, just helping out whenever they need assistance.
Okay, awesome.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah, so getting into Brandee a little bit. So you've been on her case from day one then, right?
I was there the first day that they came in to report her.
Wow. So her case was, when it was reported, you guys were in the hole for almost 4 years. How did this?
Yeah.
How did that affect you guys? I mean, what
would
would
you even find a way to go?
Yeah.
Well, the hardest part of this case from the very beginning, and I don't fault any of the girls, her sisters, her daughters, any of them, for the lack of time. I know one of the things you guys talked about during the last podcast was the fact that she did live a pretty transient lifestyle and everything, and people didn't really notice. Well, I'm sure they noticed, but it wasn't as unusual for her not to have shown up. And so all of the leads that we had to start with came from, and it's been an issue, and like I said, not their fault by any stretch of imagination, but we have relied on memories of pre-adolescence from day one. Because the adults who had been involved and were involved at the time, we didn't get a lot out of them. So we just kind of had to piece everything together as best we could. So, I mean, we started with our standards of let's go find dental records, let's go find banking accounts, let's go find driver's licenses, let's find credit cards, let's do whatever we can. And we just kind of threw a net out just to see what landed or what stuck to start with.
Yep.
And just kind of worked our way from there.
So you guys get out to... Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, the last time that we had a confirmed interaction with her, one of our patrol deputies, back in 2006, if I remember correctly, it's April of 2006, served a court paperwork on her. She had a court date, and we served paperwork on her in April of 2006 at the residence in Moxville. That's the last confirmed interaction that we have with her with law enforcement at all. So we've got there were some, later on we discovered some pay stubs and things like that, and where she had actually had a couple of jobs out in the area while she was living in Moxville, that we were able to track down a little bit later than that. But the last confirmed that we had with her was in April of 2006.
Okay. So you guys get out to the house and you talk to the ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance. What was he having to say? Did they had split up? She had cut off ties with him and moved out. What was he saying?
Well, we'd actually interviewed him before we did the search warrant. So the search warrant was a follow-up after some pretty decent amount of investigation. So we went out and talked to him, and I know his name's been out there, but y'all have to excuse me for not using his name during all of this, just to try to maintain some of his privacy and the fact that it is an ongoing investigation a little bit. But we talked to him. Every time that we have talked to him throughout the years, his story has been consistent. So he was cooperative when we did the search warrant. We went out, we started late in the afternoon. I crawled up under the house with probes. We probed under the house. We had dogs, we had cadaver dogs. The SBI was out, assisted us with us. There was a large number of people. I know you referenced Captain Smith before. He was with the SBI at the time. The SBI brought their crime scene team out there to help with our team. We pulled carpet up, we pulled floorboards up, we luminoled all over the house. We were there. I think if I remember right, I got home about 2 a.m. that night. So it was a long day, and we searched the entire property, and it came back with nothing. We found the two pieces. Well, I shouldn't say found. He actually led us directly to, opened the safe for us, to give her the two pieces of jewelry that you guys referenced.
Mm-hmm.
We've never had any issue talking with him or with him not wanting to cooperate or anything along those lines. So we don't have anything that says or that points to him being an ongoing primary suspect at this point in time.
Gotcha.
So
was he ever?
He is the one. Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Was he ever asked to take a polygraph? Or can you say?
I don't remember myself. There were 2 or 3 detectives that work on it. I never had that conversation with him specifically, so I can't say 100% on that.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah.
But I never had that conversation with him, so I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. Yeah, okay, good enough.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah. So where does the investigation...
There's been a lot of detectives who have helped us work on this case.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, I mean, yeah, so I can't speak for everybody. I know I haven't personally asked him that. So.
Okay. I just didn't know if he had volunteered to take one or was asked to take one or came in for one or anything like that. We just, we just got a bunch of questions that we wrote down that we wanted to ask.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Where does the investigation go after this? You guys go into the house and tear it all to pieces. What happens?
It was a messy night.
I can't imagine. And yeah, where's it go then?
One of the biggest leads that we got, or shouldn't say leads, but one of the things that came out of it after conversations with him and several times, like I said, we found 2 different places that she worked.
Yeah.
And without him knowing that we knew some of those places, he actually named the places that she worked. He actually told us that he had met her after she had left. So she apparently met someone, which was not too uncommon. She'd met someone at the bar she had been working at, the Metal Rebel, which you guys had referenced.
Mm-hmm.
And she was working after the Metal Rebel. She worked at another location in Davie County for a while. And she had asked the ex-fiance to meet her and bring her some paychecks that she had gotten. So that was actually the last time that he saw her, reported that he saw her. That was after she had left with who all we know of him is Eric in the red truck. That's who she left the house that day with him. And then when the ex met her one other time to give her her pay stubs and everything, she was with the same guy, Eric, at that time. So we have pulled, in trying to find him, we ran through extensive DMV searches. We looked for every record of Eric's that had red trucks that the DMV listed across multiple counties. We came back with all kinds of different people, and we followed up on a number of leads of people who had called and told us, hey, I know this Eric, and he has a red truck, or his mom has a red truck. We followed up on an extensive number of those, and all of the ones of people that have been able to give us anyone who had that, we've been able to eliminate. At this time. So I'm not saying there's not another one out there, but every one that we could find or every one that anyone told us about, and we did chase down all of those, we've been able to say that, yeah, that's not who it was.
Wow. So you guys have certainly done your due diligence trying to find out.
Yeah, that proves it's not just somebody said something. So
absolutely.
Yeah, right.
So she moves out of the house and goes to the Blue Reservoir area.
As far as we know.
Well, there's a story with that too.
Okay, good.
So we did not know anything at all about Blues Creek until I believe it was 2021. Again, we're back to relying on the memory of pre-adolescence and everything. And we never heard about Blues Creek at all Everybody around here, it's Blues Creek is what it is. But we never heard anything about Blues Creek at all until 2021. So we didn't know to look there, didn't know where to start there. We'd never heard Deacon. We'd never heard any of the stuff until at least 2021.
Wow.
So that's when we started going back and trying to find that. And like I said, I don't fault them. They were all young kids at the time that this happened. And so it was them talking to each other. It was kind of one of those, oh, yeah, I remember this place kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So there could be a huge gap.
That's how we ended up on Blues Creek. So at that point in time, we're 15 years behind on Blues Creek.
Wow.
Right. Huge gap.
Yeah, so we didn't know any of that. Wow. That's certainly, wow.
Yeah. So when we started, and there again, none of the adults had ever passed that information along either. So we never heard that from any of the adults. So we actually heard that from her sisters and her daughter about Blues Creek. And none of the adults had ever volunteered any of the information about the girls ever living up in Blues Creek or being up there or anything along those lines.
Holy cow, man.
Wow.
So 15 years later, we start the hunt for the address at Blues Creek or Blues Lake or wherever it is. And we actually rode with sisters riding around the lake several times. We identified, they actually drew out on the whiteboard kind of the sketch of where they thought the house was, how it laid on the water, how it did. We drove, scouted the area, took them back up there. So we made several trips up there. They actually rode with us up there to go look at all the different places that we found that were possible. Weren't able to locate it at all based off of the description of where they told us that we were. We just kind of guessed Blues Creek based off of the descriptions that they had given us of, like they described driving from Shelby up past Moxville, and they drove past the city that they thought was as big as New York City, and drove past these huge tall skyscrapers on the way up there. Well, the closest thing that fit was them driving through downtown Winston, and Blues Creek and Blues Lake fit the direction and the time. So that's kind of where we started looking. We had wildlife officers helping us try to find the coves that they described, to try to find the landmarks, to try to find all kinds of things. We involved Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, Stokes County Sheriff's Office, Guilford County Sheriff's Office, because the lake is kind of in that area where all those counties meet, and weren't able to, based on the descriptions that they gave us, come up with a good place. So like I said, we literally took a day and drove the entire distance around the lake with the girls and didn't find anything. Now, I don't know who ended up telling them or how they ended up coming up with the address that we have eventually confirmed that she did live at or stay in that community for a while. I wasn't there when they found that information out, so I don't know how they found that out. But I do know that once we had an address, we were able to go back. We found the individual who used to live there had been deceased. So the gentleman that went by the name of Deacon, that everybody knew, able to identify him, able to identify the current homeowners who knew of him, who actually remembered seeing Brandee, who remembered where she had worked, and found out some things about this. During all of this, we were able to piece together, and this is an important part that we need to make sure we hit, that when the girls were in Blues Creek, this was prior to their being in Moxville when they were with the fiance. So they had been with the fiance at one point in time, had moved up to Blues Creek, had been up there for a while, and then had moved back to Moxville. So the time in Blues Creek was before the second time that they were in Moxville.
So that's
we know that the sisters were in Moxville at one time, and we know that her daughters were in Moxville at one time. And the whole Blues Creek thing was in between while she was in Moxville.
Oh, so that's some of that timeline stuff that we had incorrect. Right.
Wow.
That makes total sense. Wow.
So I also know you guys referenced a CPS report that was filed.
Yes.
We did check with Cleveland County, with Shelby, with everyone. No, there was not a CPS report that we have access to. A lot of those records are sealed, but from piecing it together a little bit and from conversations around what happened and some of the family dynamics and everything, we never could find that an official CPS report was filed for when the girls were in Blues Creek and not in Moxville. What we suspect happened is someone probably talked to one of the CPS workers or something down in Cleveland County or something like that and said, hey, what if the girls aren't living there, or what if the girls aren't in Moxville or something like that? And it was probably we'd have to investigate kind of thing. And a phone call was probably made of, hey, if these girls aren't where they're supposed to be in Moxville, CPS is going to come get them. And that's when Rush, Mull, the girl's stepdad, drove up and picked them up from Blues and took them back to Cleveland County.
Oh, wow.
Because he's the one that went up and got them, not CPS.
Okay. Totally makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So where do you guys go from here? I mean, no sign of this Eric with the red truck. I mean, y'all hadn't found anything on this guy at all.
No sign of Eric of the red truck. No sign of the car. The car itself was never registered to her. The car itself, we never could find anybody that it was officially registered to. All that we know was that it was scrapped at 109 You Pull It, is all that we know. And we learned that back around 2013 or 2014. So we've looked for it. We've been trying to find that car. So there's not a thing of recently of parts being found or anything like that, but we've known that the car supposedly was scrapped there, but we've never found the vehicle at all. But it was never registered to her. Ed stated that he had scrapped the car, and I believe it was actually in his name, but he had scrapped the car over the 109 You Pull It. And we'd known about that for years, so I'm not sure where the confusion came in that we found parts within the last year, but to my knowledge, and I've spoken to a couple of the others, we hadn't found any parts or anything of the car that have shown up recently.
So the ex-fiance or whatever, or the guy, whoever was living in Moxville, they're the one who scrapped the car?
Yes.
Okay.
So no car has been found or parts?
No car, no parts. The guys, they searched the lake. We looked to see if maybe that someone had said, oh yeah, well, we scrapped the car. No, nothing like that. The sheriff's office in Davidson County had been out that direction before. I mean, I've got several friends who work out there. If she had been out there by now, she definitely would have been found. But that vehicle is not out there, and there's no body that is out at 109 You Pull It.
Wow.
That is just insane.
Well, I hate to say it, but we get leads. We have talked to several of the people that she worked with. We've traced down some things. There's some things obviously I can't go over that are a little more recent developments in it. But I can honestly say though that right now all of the developments that have been recent, at least, have been fairly exclusionary. It's not, hey, it's somewhere new to go. We're eliminating things that could have happened.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very enlightening.
Yeah, because that totally changes my whole view of the whole thing. Then, I had it totally out of order, and
yeah, because you was looking hard at Mr. Deacon guy.
Yeah,
we didn't know anything about it.
We all did. We all did. We all wanted to look for him and find him and everything else. But once we established the timeline and everything else, he very quickly, once we got that timeline and once we even learned who he was, there was a lot of very strange things about him, and there's a lot of things that we have been told about how he lived, about how he chose to live, about all kinds of different things that would make anybody on any crime drama show, I'm not going to lie to you, go, that's our man. But just because you live a little bit differently than a lot of people doesn't mean that you're guilty of doing something. Well, the things that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So we were able to fairly quickly, once we identified who he was and where he was, he's not by any means on the top of our list.
Yeah, I had this Deacon guy yeah.
You couldn't get past all them shoes.
Yeah, all the shoes and the ladies' clothing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Talking about some Silence of the Lamb, Buffalo Bill stuff going on there.
Right.
Yeah, wow. So, I mean, I know you can't get it.
We even looked for Precious walking around somewhere, but couldn't find it. So.
A hole in the ground somewhere.
Yeah.
So, you guys are eliminating stuff that people are saying that maybe they saw her from places she'd worked and things like that. Do you feel like that there's a lead on some of this stuff that some people that she worked with may know more than they're saying, or how do you feel about that?
It's always a possibility. It really and truly is, and those are leads that we are and still continue to track down these days as we learn more people that interacted with her within those last 12 to 18 months that we can identify where she was. Anybody that had any kind of interaction with her or anything like that, we absolutely talked to. We would love to talk to anybody who had any interaction with her in the last 6 to 12 months that we know, say prior to that May of 2006 timeframe. We would absolutely love to talk to them, even if it's something you don't think is important or anything like that. Yeah, we absolutely would love to talk to anybody who had any interaction with her, be it through work, be it through anything else. Just know her from the grocery store kind of thing or whatever. But yeah, we'd love to talk to anybody like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Have you or anybody you know of talked to anyone that thinking, hey, this could be something? Do you have any persons of interest or suspects in mind?
Can you ask a more general question?
Yeah, I mean,
beating around the bush.
Guys, I'll be honest with you. That's kind of where we are at this point in time. More leads that we have been exclusionary than they have been leads towards a suspect.
Yeah.
We keep following up on anything that we get that's a possibility, and we keep coming back to marking more people off than we do adding people to the list.
Yeah, I get it.
That's progress, though, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's something. That's right.
So I got one more question. One more question about the car. So you said you're thinking that this guy scrapped it. Is there like a paperwork saying he scrapped it, or he told you he scrapped it, or how did this come about?
We were told that that's where he scrapped it, but the junkyard, because of records and things like that, they didn't have any record of him scrapping it there either. So it was scrapped as a junk car, and that was about it. That was before a lot of the reporting laws and things like that came in, where they had to report it. The big thing being the big law that changed a lot of that was about catalytic converters and things like that, scrapping them for VIN numbers and all, and they didn't keep that kind of record.
Okay.
Yeah, we just didn't know if us putting this out and bringing more light to her case, if somebody out there will be shaking in their shoes and maybe getting a little nervous about something.
Listen, I'd love to talk to anybody who has any ideas or any theories or anything. I mean, that's why we keep doing these interviews and everything else, is hoping that somebody's going to go, wait a minute, I remember this guy said this, I remember somebody said that, or I remember I saw her. Yeah, we're willing to talk to anybody who's got any kind of information on the case.
And another thing I wanted to ask too, nothing against the girls, the daughters, or the sisters or anything like that. They've been totally on board with us doing these episodes and stuff, but they mentioned that there's some stuff not being told to them anymore. They've been cut off from getting information. Where did this come from? What is that all about? Or can you talk about that?
Or do you even know about that?
Yeah.
I have not been privy to any conversations that have been told that you are cut off. Let's put it that way. However, I do know that a while back we told them that if we find something new, that we are working some active leads, and if we have some information that we can share, we'll be glad to. But there's some information of while we're working it, because like you said, it is an active investigation.
Yeah. Right.
And there are things that we don't want to disclose to everybody, not because we're trying to hide anything from them, but if there's things that we learn and somebody tells us something that we knew or we didn't know, that gives us a tool to use in our investigation.
Yeah.
So
100%.
we're not actively giving anybody weekly status updates or anything like that. Let's put it that way. If there's a major break in the case, absolutely we will. And I know when the girls came up and did the buccal swabs and everything, we appreciate that. We'd not done DNA previously just because we didn't have anybody as a match. We didn't have anything, but with the advancement in DNA technology over the last, I guess it's now 18, almost 19 years since she's gone missing, we can do a lot better with familial DNA than we could as far as like touch DNA and things like that, which is why we wanted to bring them in to get those DNA samples. So in case we do end up with a missing person or a Jane Doe somewhere, we can run it against them. That technology didn't exist in nearly the capacity that it does now when we first started this investigation.
Yeah.
But as far as not telling people anything, no, we're not having a weekly conference call with anybody to tell them what we found, but we're not deliberately keeping people in the dark on it.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, that all makes sense. If it's a ongoing investigation, you don't want to tell them everything, but you're also not slamming a door in their face either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How confident are you this case will be solved? I mean, do you think it can be solved?
Yeah.
When I started this thing 15 years or so ago, I had a lot more confidence than I do now. That being said, I still hadn't given up on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the report came in 2010, and here it is 2025, and we're still working.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, I have a feeling that it's going to be, there's either going to be, at least my thought is there's going to be an accidental discovery of something that will give us a big break in the case, or somebody is going to have a conscience or get caught or something along those lines and be willing to offer up some information that we didn't have in exchange for a little bit better deal on their side.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, we're going to keep working it and keep doing everything we can and keep following leads, and anybody who tells us anything that's credible information, obviously we're going to follow up on it. But yeah, at this point, the next big break, I think, is going to come from somewhere outside of us.
Yeah. Somebody finding something, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is the lead detective on this now? Do you know?
Captain Smith. He's taken it. See, he started it. Like I said, he was there with us today. SBI. His office was actually at the sheriff's office. He was the agent assigned to our agency and worked out of our office, and he was there. So he's worked this thing all the way through.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to keep this out there so everybody will know who's in charge and taking care of this. But man,
yeah, absolutely. If anybody has any information at all, 336-751-5547. That'll get you straight to the detectives division.
We'll definitely put that number in our show notes and everything.
As well, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else that hasn't been told about Brandee that you can enlighten us on that we haven't asked that could help trigger something?
Transient was a good way. I know she moved around a lot. At the same time, everything that I have heard, she absolutely loved the family to death. She was a free spirit, like you guys put it out there. She moved around a lot. She didn't hold jobs for very long, so she bounced a lot for jobs. I mean, that was one of the things. We tracked all kinds of jobs through her Social Security number and things like that through the years. And, man, when it stopped, it stopped. I mean, it just went cold on her.
That's not good.
It went from go to stop. Yeah.
She had a lot of interactions with law enforcement and had a bunch of different jobs and things like that from the time that she was 18 all the way up until 2006. And then all of a sudden it just went cold. So that's an unfortunate clue, I believe.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, hopefully you guys can find something on this Eric with the red truck. I don't know. He could be out of state or something. I mean, who knows?
You would think somebody maybe that hung around at the Metal Rebel would maybe knew who that was, but maybe not.
You know, we have talked to any and everybody that we can find. I mean, we've talked to law enforcement officers who used to work there. We've talked to guests that used to work there. We've talked to employees of that place. It was a very popular and very rowdy club at the time. And a lot of people didn't pay attention to a lot of people except for who they knew.
Yeah.
And so we've asked for anybody who was there at that time, who has any idea of who Eric could be or anything like that. We'd love to hear who that could be.
Did the ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance give a description of this Eric guy? Did he say what he looked like, what color hair? I mean, anything?
White male, sandy brown hair.
Okay.
Probably average height. We didn't get a great description. And to be honest, in his defense, I mean, this is not somebody he was probably looking to ever see again. I mean, it was the guy who was with his now ex.
Right.
So I'm sure he probably didn't care that much about her
probably
anyway.
didn't. Probably wasn't even thinking about it much. Yeah.
The guy was probably staying in his truck, so he probably didn't know how tall he was anyway.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, man, we certainly appreciate you've certainly turned my head around on this because I had a lot of it backwards as far as the timeline goes. So yeah, that helps me a lot.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate you coming on and straightening this out.
Yeah, certainly.
No problem, and like I said, I definitely want to say a lot of this has just been put together over 15 years now of piecing all the parts and everything together, and I appreciate everything that her daughters have done. I appreciate everything that her sisters have done. I appreciate what Lee's done with the TikTok channel and everything, because she's gotten it out there in a reach further than probably we could have.
Yeah.
So I appreciate all of the attention that it gets, good and or bad, because the more attention that it gets and the more people see it, the more likely that we're going to get a lead and find out something new that we didn't know ahead of time.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
I appreciate everything that everybody has done in keeping this case in front of the public.
Yeah, certainly.
Including you guys. So thank y'all.
But yeah, we certainly appreciate it, man. And I hope we can call on you again if we got any questions.
Absolutely, feel free to.
Yeah,
great, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
If you guys talk to Nug again, he was a big help in helping us search the lake and everything.
Yeah,
so he searched it. He searched it before Highway Patrol even would.
Wow. Yeah, we interviewed him on another case
when they found that couple in Tennessee.
Yeah, he found that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. He. I was real impressed with him. Yeah, we're still off, but I'll go ahead and tell you, before Highway Patrol would search it, they wanted to have a little more information before they'd go spend a day just out riding the lake with the sonar. And I don't remember who it was that contacted him, but he actually reached out to me because they gave him my information. He's like, man, I'll go search the whole thing for you. I'm like, have at it, bud.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's the one that found the boats and the tires and everything else, but yeah, couldn't get anything else out of it. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah, good dude.
All right. Well, Kyle, we certainly appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much, sir.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. Y'all have a good one.
You too, brother. Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, man, we want to thank Kyle Shuping for coming on. Man, I tell you, I had this case totally twisted in my head, how the timeline went and how things were.
Well, it's just a little bit of a timeline twist that we missed, even though we looked hard to find everything.
Yeah.
That would shoot you off in the wrong direction.
Yeah. I had no idea about her going to the house, that lake house, and then coming back.
Returning back,
yeah.
to Knoxville.
So, yeah. So I could see why they went there and tore that place apart.
But it sounds like, man, from hearing him talk, they've really done their due diligence to do everything they can do, even though they're behind the 8-ball, their proverbial 8-ball.
Yeah, 4 years of not knowing.
4 years and then 15 years, kind of.
Yeah.
At the same time,
You know, and I get these girls, being young and not remembering things or remember things later.
Well, also they remembered a lot of things as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes both ways. They
Absolutely.
knew a lot of stuff, but then, I mean, heck, think about it. That's a lot to ask.
Yeah. These sisters and these daughters, they're wanting to find some answers for Brandee.
Damn right.
And they wanting her back, wanting to find out something. So we put this out there to try to stir the pot and try to get some people talking.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, man, we're going to get out of here, bud.
All right, let's roll.
We want everyone to be safe. Please be careful and always be aware of your surroundings.
Because the next episode could be about you.
This is
the Crack House Chronicles.